Hi, how are you doing today? Welcome to my daily live session on various methods and tools from my toolkit for execution excellence. My name is Dinakar, and I'm the founder of Samutana and the inventor of Do How for changing mindset and culture. I've been speaking about various tools which I have in my toolkit, and very giving a very short introduction to them. And today I'm going to be talking about another tool. And yesterday I did about one tool. Tomorrow again the third tool. So before I get into that, let me just give you a very quick recap of what I spoke yesterday, which was about uh, DIN A3 problem solving or presentation. What is this all about? It's mainly to ensure that we are in a position to describe a problem and present the root cause. That means we would have done the root cause analysis, and after that describe the problem, done the root cause analysis, and define the corrective and preventive action. And mind you, when you do root cause analysis, we need to ask three questions: whether why is it that we could not detect, why is it that we could not uh, uh, prevent, and why is it that we could not predict. That is the most important thing. And once that is all done, then after that we have taken the corrective and preventive action, and after that also we would have ensured that there is some kind of a control which is implemented, and that entire thing is presented on one sheet. And that's the if A3 size presentation or A3 problem solving, which can be done even for investments. It can be done for any project, anything, so that one can understand in one A3 size sheet what is it that we're talking about. And that's the whole spirit of A3 presentation, or I say DIN because it is the Deutsche international norm, that is a German international norms. And then A3 is for the size of the paper. So that's the tool which I spoke about yesterday. A very simple thing, but it is extremely basic in organizations. Then a lot of clutter gets removed. Today I said I'm going to be talking about another important tool which is quite common in strategy development. This is called as SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis is what I'm going to be talking about today, and my experience using SWOT analysis. And I think this is okay, right? Or maybe I can make it a little bigger. You can also see the it only talks about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I can possibly converse with you better. It's equally good for me. Now, SWOT analysis is something which one would use for any strategy development. And before that, one would perform a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for, like I said, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is something which is extremely subjective, extremely based on gut feel. Of course, somebody may argue saying that we got a lot of data, and based on the data, we are doing the SWOT analysis. But I don't really take that, because if you are going to do SWOT analysis based on data, then might as well be doing analytics and not SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis has to be based on gut feel, and has to be based on a gut feel which is a collective gut feel. Individual gut feel sometimes will not be that accurate, because diversity brings in more robustness in the perceptions, and that's the whole charm of diversity in organizations. Whenever you look at any solution or any situation analysis, or trying to understand the reality, a diverse opinions of that particular situation will give you more robustness in understanding. That's the whole idea. So diversity is extremely important. Don't do anything on your own. Gut feel is okay, but it is not that great. It's important that you get perspectives from different sides. That's when you do the SWOT analysis. This is extremely necessary for uh, extremely necessary for ensuring that we set the base right for any strategy development to happen. The first thing which we look at is strength. What are the strengths? Strengths are those competencies which we internally have within us, which can be exploited in some way or the other, which we are good at. It could be as simple as target deployment could be a strength, product development could be a strength, service excellence could be a strength, service network could be a strength, sales force could be a strength, or the production consistency could be a strength, technology excellence could be a strength. The multiple strengths, or maybe human development could be a strength. We are extremely good at developing competencies in our people, or accountability of people within our company, which has to do with the culture. So we can say culture of result orientation, culture of process orientation could be a strength. So it could be anything of that kind. And that's something which is totally internal in nature. So the first thing is to identify the strengths. Then, of course, along with the strengths, one need to also understand weaknesses. It's never the case that you have only strengths. Maybe even in Norway, where you have a day for 24 hours, also has night for 24 hours during winter time. Summers is day and winter is night. So it's never in the world, nowhere in the world would you have sun for 24 hours throughout the year. It doesn't happen at all. So it's always day and night. I would say day could be the strength and weakness could be the night, if you want to compare it that way. Both go hand in hand. It cannot be that one is the only one is existing. You'll have weaknesses also. And when you look at weaknesses, again, it's important to look at trying to correlate with some kind of a connecting of the dots to understand what the weaknesses really are. For that, I would recommend to use what is called as current reality tree from theory of constraints. And that's something which I would speak about some other day when that particular tool comes up. Current reality tree itself will need a couple of minutes, at least 10 minutes to talk about that. It's really outstanding thinking process from theory of constraints, which I'm sure you would love it. And that's on a different day. So today, let's talk about weaknesses. You could use that to arrive at the weaknesses. Other way where you can get weaknesses from, the classical place where you can get the weaknesses from are your audit reports. I don't know whether you have the habit of doing process audit, system audit, or even external statutory audit. And these audits throw out a lot of discrepancies. And there will be some kind of the classical one, which I always love, is the inventory. Inventory discrepancies are there, and it's quite interesting. How would you look at inventory from a financial perspective and from a operations perspective? From the financial perspective, you look at the positive numbers in terms of value. Positive inventories, that means where the actual inventory was more than the system inventory. That's a gain to the company. And where the actual inventory was lesser than what was shown in the books would be a loss to the company, because that's somewhere it got lost, as the other one got gained, it got discovered somewhere. So what a financial guy would do basically would find out the value in terms of rupees or dollars or euros or yen or whichever be the currency, and after that just total it up. It's a simple arithmetic sum of all the differences that one discovered in the inventory process, and then you get some plus, let us say, $1,000 and minus $800 or plus lakh rupees and minus 80,000 rupees, and then you say that, look, I had a gain of 2,000 rupees, and it's really damn good. It's fantastic. It is. So it means the inventory was very positive. So the financial guys are happy. On the other hand, if the difference was negative, then there is a lot of concern saying that it got lost somewhere, somebody stole it, or somebody misplaced it, some reporting was not correct. All that happens. And every time the financial guy is talking about the final number. You understand? And that final number is the one which is very important, because that's what gets into the books, gets into your P&L account, gets into your balance sheet. That's the number where it is shown as an asset. It could be either inventory, of course, as an asset, depending on the variation in the inventory declared in the books based on the inventory taken, physical inventory taken. The asset value would change. Therefore, it's very critical. So that's the only one number, final number which will be shown, and that's a statutory requirement for the governments anywhere in the world, throughout the world. Now, that is the financial guy. From the operations guy, what would I look at? I look at, if the number 100 pieces were there, did I have 100 pieces or did I have 98 pieces? Or where 100 pieces were to be there in the books, did I have 70 pieces or 130 pieces? It could be a C item. Therefore, the difference doesn't matter in terms of value. But that C item is the killer when it comes to on-time and full delivery. Have you experienced that? Therefore, this inventory taking is something which one has to look at very, very carefully and find out if the discrepancies what you have are at the part number level, or the part number level discrepancies are very, very less, negligible, whereas the total discrepancy, of course, also will be quite negligible, but always look at the part number level. So that could be a very, very key weakness for the company, for any organization. So like that, one needs to really understand what's happening and then define what the weakness is. Weaknesses also could be something to do with market penetration. Weakness could be something to do with the network itself. Maybe the market is across the entire country, but then we have got sales guys only sitting in one territory, for example. That could be a weakness. So like that, one needs to look at holistically and identify what the weaknesses are. Or maybe our first pass rate in development is pretty low. That means whenever we develop a new product, which is again quite common, it's a common disease. It's like getting a cold. Everybody has that. You start developing a new product, and then you come to the final stage, and there is tremendous amount of pressure to release it. So you have the various samples done, and then finally it gets released to the production. And many a times the product gets developed during the production, during the pilot phase, or after the pilot lot, and even during the second or third bulk production, the product is still getting developed. In the sense, I'm talking about the tolerance is getting fixed, the processes are getting fixed, and that's absolute nonsense. It can't exist at all. In the best of the best companies, that doesn't happen that way. You always have, normally, I would say the best practice would be to normally have a platform, and this platform gets fundamentally approved, and after that you only do some minor changes in the product when it comes to applying for each specific case, and that is not such a big development. And again, before the start of production, normally through simultaneous engineering or concurrent engineering, nowadays the entire process is proven. And in fact, when I was in Bosch, I developed a method, a tool called as FAP, Fertigungsablaufplan, and a tool called as MyPet. MyPet was a software tool for evaluating all the manufacturing processes even before the start of production, so that it would be very, very well equipped, and there won't be any problem at all. Sorry for that. I had some guys wanting to call me and talk to me. I would answer that. Sorry for that. So that's something which is very, very critical. So you need to really understand what the weaknesses and identify the weaknesses. Do it internally. Then comes the two fundamental things, which is to do with opportunities and threats. And for doing this, the best would be to get your marketing guys along with you and the sales guys along with you, because opportunities and threats and the purchasing. So three functions are extremely required here: purchasing, sales, and marketing people, because they are the ones who are always in contact with the market, with the outside world, and to some extent maybe the chartered accountants who also could be talking to other companies, and get people who are basically in contact with the outside world, and also could get some consultants, some specialists, experts, to talk about what opportunities would one have and what threats are there in the market, because these two are basically external to the company. Strengths and weaknesses internal to the company, opportunities and threats are external to the company. Opportunities you try to understand after analyzing the market and what potential the market has, and where can you penetrate. And here my recommendation is to really use what is called as a blue ocean strategy. I think I spoke about that a couple of weeks back. You can go to my website, which is dinakarmurthy.com, and after that look through the videos and search the video for blue ocean strategy. I spoke about that, and that blue ocean strategy is something which is very, very useful for identifying the opportunities, which is fantastic. That's the best I have known, where you're really looking at the market in a very, very structured and a very, very clear manner. But of course, you need people there. You can't really do one guy can't sit and do it. All this, when I look at SWOT analysis or blue ocean strategy, all these are basically collective wisdom. It cannot be wisdom from only one person. Then when it comes to threats, of course, you would have had a lot of experiences with your competitors, and at the same time, there could be a lot of regulatory issues. There could be a lot of stuff happening in the market in terms of changes in the policies, government policies, etc. And for addressing the threats, I would suggest you need to possibly do a pest lay analysis. I'll speak about that shortly. I think day after tomorrow. This week it is planned. Pest lay analysis, which is analysis of the political environment, economic environment, the social environment, etc. So that's something which I'll talk about day after tomorrow. But for now, threats is something which you need to analyze. Also, that comes from the external environment again, and opportunities from the external environment. For opportunities, you can use blue ocean strategy. For threats, you can do a pest lay analysis, and based on that, try to identify what the threats are. Once you have done that, you have one sheet. This again is one sheet with strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and that would serve as a kind of a base for any strategy planning to be done, for any discussion to be done, because then we know in which direction the particular BU stands for business unit is going to be going. So this you need to do for every BU or every product family. It cannot be the same thing for the entire company, and that you can do, but then that is okay for a company which is not having such a huge diversity in its business units. Otherwise, try to do it for each business unit separately. And then overall at the company level, you can consolidate it and only use it for presenting to shareholders, but not for any strategy activity. Strategy has to be done at the BU level. And never do a mistake of making a strategy at the overall company level. That won't really work. BU level strategy, and then you can consolidate it at the company level only for the sake of presentation. So that's my wisdom from SWOT. Thanks a lot for watching. And then I have something else to share. If any of you are interested, on this Sunday, I'm going to be starting from this Sunday. Every Sunday, I'm going to do that. A 2-hour session on do how. I've been talking about do how, and then I want to do a do how session on business excellence. And if you're interested, please take this link and register and participate. dinakarmurthy.com/17 Jan 2020. It is it? Oh, I think I made a mistake there. Okay, so that is the case. It is 2020, so can't change it now. So we leave it as it is. Take it as 2020 and join. It's not 2020, 2021. It is. Next time I correct it. I missed out on that, so sorry for that. So please join. Take this link and join. And it will be a very interesting session for discussing and debating on various topics. Thanks a lot for watching. And for those of you in India, have a nice evening. For those of you outside India, have a great day ahead. And before I go, as usual, let me talk about what's my topic for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about empowered teams. You can see this two pictures in this slide, right? Maybe I can make it a little bigger. One is the normal hierarchy, which you see in organizations, and the other one is the inverted hierarchy. You see that one is this, and the other one is it tried to be inverted. Again, I've done a mistake. I'm really sorry for that. Yeah, it's a mistake. So I need to invert it. It will be an inverted hierarchy. Tomorrow I would have inverted it, and we'll talk about how it got inverted and what to do to invert the hierarchy. Thanks a lot, and have a nice evening, and have a nice day for those of you outside India. And goodbye, and see you tomorrow, more or less the same time. Bye-bye.